Hello guys, and welcome back to the video. It's 𝖄𝐷𝐿 𝐷𝐚 coming at you from Harmonic Studios. So glad to have you back. Today we'll be discussing about intervals on the piano keyboard. This video is a continuation of my beginner piano tutorial series, and the link to the series playlist is what is showing on the top right corner of your screen right now. I will also leave the link at the description box below. Intervals on the piano are basically names used to identify the distance between any two keys on the piano keyboard. They are used to derive chords, which is what provides harmony to a music. On our next tutorial, we'll be discussing about chords and how to use intervals to derive them. For example, if we want to get to know the interval, or you can say distance, between a particular key, let's say middle C, and any other key above it, we will have to do two things. First of all, we will have to identify the keys that makes up the C diatonic scale. From there, we'll get to know the interval between C and those diatonic keys. Secondly, we will then have to identify the interval of the remaining keys that are not from the C diatonic scale, which in this case is basically the 5 black keys. We will now practicalize these two steps. So firstly, the keys of the C diatonic scales are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and finally C, an octave up. The names of the intervals between these keys and their root key, which is C, is what is showing on the screen right now. So we can see that C is at an interval or distance of a unison to itself, which is also numerically represented as 1. D is at an interval or distance of a major second to C, which is numerically represented as 2. E is at an interval or distance of a major third to C, which is numerically represented as 3. F is at an interval or distance of a perfect fourth to C, which is numerically represented as 4. G is at an interval or distance of a perfect fifth to C, which is numerically represented as 5. A is at an interval or distance of a major sixth to C, which is numerically represented as 6. B is at an interval or distance of a major seventh to C, which is represented numerically as 7. And finally, C, an octave up, is at an interval or distance of an octave from the root key, which is C, and is numerically represented as 8. So starting from the first black key, which is D flat, since this key is simply a flattened D, which is the second degree of the C diatonic scale, we will then say that while D is at an interval of a major second from C, D flat is at an interval of a minor second from C, and it is numerically represented as flat 2. Same principle applies to the rest of the non-diatonic keys. So moving up, since E flat is simply a flattened E, which is the third degree of the C diatonic scale, we will then say that while E is at an interval of a major third from C, E flat is at an interval of a minor third from C, and it is numerically represented as flat 3. Moving up again, since G flat is simply a flattened G, which is the 5th degree of the C diatonic scale, we will then say that while G is at an interval of a perfect fifth from C, G flat is at an interval of a flattened fifth, or we can also say an interval of a tritone away from C, and it is numerically represented as flat 5. Still moving up, since A flat is simply a flattened A, which is the 6th degree of the C diatonic scale, we will then say that while A is at an interval of a major sixth from C, A flat is at an interval of a minor sixth from C, and it is numerically represented as flat 6. And finally, since B flat is simply a flattened B, which is the 7th degree of the C diatonic scale, we will then say that while B is at an interval of a major seventh from C. B flat is at an interval of a minor seventh from C, and it is numerically represented as what? Flat 7. To make all that we have discussed so far about intervals easy to understand and related to all other keys of the piano, I will leave a download link on the description box below in order for you to download the chart showing on your screen right now. This chart will help you to really get this topic down more clearly for the rest of the piano keys. So that will be all for now, guys. If you love this content, please kindly like and leave a comment at the comment box below. If you are new to the channel and you want to see more contents like this from us, please click the subscription button below and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to get notified directly anytime we make an update. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.